Hi everyone, welcome to JL Circus Quarantine Sessions. And today our theme is cups. So I want you to find a cup and then get on down. So we're going to be delivering some circus fitness moves and some circus tricks using cups. It's going to be myself, Miles, and two other amazing circus artists, Dan and Carve. Right, I think we're ready to begin. So pause the video now and let's get going. Get your equipment ready. So my circus fitness trick is going to be a sort of motion of movements. One moment. What? We don't need that. So find something soft to sit on. I've got a mat down, and get your cup, you just need one, out in front of you. Put your hands on either side of the cup and your feet are going to go out into plank position. Make sure you're not dipping or pushing your bottom up high. We want to be in this sort of strong plank pose. Hands right underneath your shoulders. Now what we're going to do, this is the motion, I'm going to do it, and then I'd like to pause the video and you have a go. So first thing we're going to do is tapping. So we're going to try and tap our nose to the cup, then our chest to the cup. We're then going to try and pick up the cup, bring it out, take a sip, put it down. Next hand, pick the cup up, it goes out. Cheers. Hot chocolate. And then from there we're going to try and tap the cup with our knee, tap the cup with our other knee while trying to keep this strong plank position. And the last thing you're going to do is you're going to turn yourself onto the side, trying to hold that position tight, feet on top of each other. If you need some support, put your foot out, and you're going to take the cup, lift it up to the sky, back down again, and we're going to do it on the other side. Up to the sky, back down again, here, and rest. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's your turn to have a go now, but I'm going to pass you on to the next person. Off you go.
Thanks for that, Miles. Right, you are going to need a cup and yourself, and I'm going to show you two fitness exercises in a row. First one, you're going to lie down on your back. Really try and think about getting your whole back into the floor. Ideally, wear trousers you can easily move in. You're then going to lift your feet into the air, like so. Okay? Try and get your legs straight. Your hips may come off the floor a little bit, that's okay. But ideally, you want hips on the floor, legs straight, okay? You're going to take the cup in one hand. You're then going to lift your legs in the air. You're going to place it between your feet and come down again. Then with the other hand, you're going to take it, yeah? Put it back, down, take it, down. Put it back, down, take it, down. You're going to try doing that 20 times. For the next exercise, you're going to take your cup and you're going to put it with the open side on the back of your head, and you've got two choices. You can do the easy one or the hard one. I'm going to try the hard one and I might muck it up. So it's going to go on your head like this. You're going to face the floor. Whoops, let's get it balanced. You're going to start on all fours like this and gradually extend your legs away from you so you're in the front support. And if you're feeling super ambitious, you're going to try taking it down into a push-up. And if you're feeling really ambitious, you're going to try 5 of those. Yeah, 3, 4. Keep the elbows in as well. I don't want to see people doing these ones. No. Elbows in. Ho, ho, ho. Give those a try, see how you get on. I'm going to hand you over to Dan now for his exercises this week. Take care.
That looked like it was quite a lot of hard work, but it did look like fun. So thanks for that, Carve. I can't wait to give that a go. Hello, it's me, Dan. How you doing this week? I hope you're well. For me, Cup Week means that we're just going to go to some very basic sort of acrobatic sort of fitness, just movement pathways, as it were. We're literally just going to go between front support, going to downward dog. They're actually more yoga than they are acrobatic. I don't know why I said that, but we're going to see if we can add the cup on top of our bottom and see if we can keep it balanced while we go between the two. But first of all, let's just explain what I mean by going between front support to downward dog. So as you can see, this is my front support position. You may know it as your press up position. You may know it as your plank position. There's plenty of different ways to explain this. But I'm sort of bringing my belly button towards my back. I'm making sure that I'm not too far up with my hips. I'm not too far down with my hips. Everything is sort of in line and everything's nice and strong. So that is our first position. Make sure you can do that before you go on to the next one. Our next position is downward dog. As you can see, when I'm moving in, I'm sort of jumping my feet forward a little bit. I am pushing my shoulders, my rib cage through my shoulders, pushing them towards my feet. I'm looking down at my feet, not looking forward like this, okay? And I'm trying to draw my heels down to the ground. So instead of them raising up like this, I'm trying to draw everything close down to the ground as they can be. And I'll get a nice big stretch in my hamstrings if I'm doing that properly, okay? So, from your plank, front support, press up position, to your downward dog. That is the first thing you need to make sure you can do. The second and last step is to add on your cup. Now, I've found it's easiest to put the cup on the lower part of your back, just above your bottom, okay? Now, as I'm moving through to my downward dog position, instead of jumping my feet in, I have to walk them forward until I reach that proper position that I was in before. But you might not get to your perfect downward dog position. You might only get to something that looks similar to a downward dog position, okay? If you want to make this harder, you can put a press up in there. But primarily, the exercise is just seeing if you can move into your shoulders, move around with the cup, balance there. I think it fell over. Did it fall over? No? No? No, we're all good. Okay, cool. So, I think because this is quite tiring on your shoulders and on your chest, that you only really have to do this like 5 times in a row. Just seeing if you can go back and forwards. Again, if you want to make it harder, put that press up in when you go back foot to the plank press up position. But, you know, just give it a go. I'm sure that you'll be worn out by the end of it, and it's a really good workout for our shoulders, for our arms, for our core, okay? I'm going to hand you over to Miles now, who's going to do our first proper circus trick for this week, all right? I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Bye.
Thank you for that, Dan. So, I'm going to take you on to the next level. This is my circus trick. Now, usually I'll teach you some cool stuff like how to juggle, etc., but today, because we're using cups, I want to show you my favourite pastime, which is basically trick shots. So, you're using either like a ping pong ball or a rolled up sock or something that you can throw or bounce against things to try and get it to go into your bullseye, basically. And my bullseye is a cup. Now, I'm using a cup which, and also another thing that's like a cup, that is plastic and metal that won't break if I mishit or if it falls over. So, to get something like that, you're going to need 2 types of cups. If you have ping pong balls, go grab them. If not, you can try and use tennis balls. You just need to make sure you've got something wide enough for it to go in. Otherwise, I found roll-up socks actually quite good. And it's better if you have something a little bit higher for the first bouncing thing. Here we go. So, this may take like 20 attempts. This is why I love it so much. Oh, so close. Yes! First time every time. And the last time I'm going to show you with a sock. Fingers crossed. Don't. Anyway, that is your challenge. You're probably going to need to attempt it about 40 to 100 times to get it. And you don't have to stop there. You can try and do different ways of bouncing it. Obviously, just make sure you don't bounce it again anything that's going to break. Have a go, have fun. You can even try juggling it and then dropping it down to get your trick shot. See you, everybody.
Thanks for that, Miles. That was brilliant. Okay, so what we're going to need is a cup and a ball. You're going to take the cup, you're going to treat it like your hand. And what we're focusing on is not looking at the cup. So I've got the ball in one hand. I'm going to throw it up, look at the top point, catch it in the cup. Throw it up, look at the top point, catch it in the cup, okay? Just like you would a regular throw and catch. You're not looking at your hands. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make it much harder. Put the cup on our head, like so. It's quite fun. And you're going to throw the ball up. Look at the ball until the last second. Tilt your head forward, catch it in the cup. So it goes throw, look, catch. Yeah? Give that a go and see how you get on. If you get that, you can make it even harder. I might mark this one up. The cup is going to go behind your back here, okay? So it's facing upwards. I've still got it in that hand. I'm going to throw the ball over my head. Voila! You can see even I was very surprised that I caught it. Give those 3 a whirl and see how you get on. I'm going to hand you over to Dan now for the next one.
Whoa, what a spectacular trick you've got to try there with Carve. Can't wait to see you guys giving it a go and see what you come up with. For my circus trick this week, we're going to take a simple juggling principle and we're going to apply it to some household objects. Now, the principle that I want to take, the technique that I want to take is something that we call multiplexing. Now, multiplexing in juggling is where you throw more than one ball at a time, okay? And there's loads of different forms of this. There's all sorts of different ways that we can intersperse it into our juggling and make some pretty cool patterns, even if I do say so myself, okay? So, instead of doing it with balls today, we are going to be doing it with tea bags, okay? Now, the first form of multiplex that I want you to try is just a 2 tea bag multiplex, okay? Now, you're gonna wanna split the tea bags up in your hands so that there's a bit of a distance between them, so that when you throw them with a firm arm and a flick of the wrist, they will separate in the air and give that kind of multi-layered effect. Because what you want to happen is the top one to go quite a bit higher than the bottom one. Okay, great. Now, what you might only be able to do is throw them, because the catching element of it is quite difficult, but that's where the cup then comes into play, okay? So what I want you to do is to see if you can throw, catch, catch, okay? Really use that flick of the wrist if you find that they're not, if they're just kind of staying together and you want it to have that multi-layered effect, and really use that flick of the wrist. You can see if I don't really flip my wrist, I just go with my arm, they sort of stay together, don't they? They don't get that nice little split in the air. But if I flip my wrist, whoa, there's that big difference in space in the air. Now, obviously, the way that we're going to make this harder is just by adding on more tea bags, okay? So, keeping in mind that you always need to split them up in your hand, it might now be a smaller amount that you're splitting them up in your hand, because your hands are probably not as big as mine, I would imagine. But really using that flick of the wrist will help with separating them all in the air, okay? Now, this will be frustrating, you won't get it straight away, but I am giving you something that you can really practice and work on. And getting the technique of throwing is the most important thing, okay? If you can't get the catching, don't worry about it. You will start catching them as the throws get a bit better, all right? Now, I'm going to miss out 4 and I'm going to go straight for 5 tea bags. The nice thing about this trick is that you could just keep increasing the amount of tea bags that you've got going on until you've got like 750 million tea bags being thrown all at the same time. Now, this will be really difficult for you tiny little humans out there to try and get 5 tea bags sort of separated in your hand. If that is too difficult, you might want to see if you can rest them up your arm like this, okay? Then, if you're doing it like this, you don't have to flick your wrist. You would want to imagine that like your forearm is your wrist almost, so you're kind of trying to flick it all up at the same time, all right? But I find it quite difficult doing it like that because it puts quite a bit of distance between them. So I try just with all of them in my hand. There might not be quite as a fantastic split as there was with when I was doing it up my arm, but does normally mean that most of them go in the cup. Now, I'm not able to do it for you today with 5, but you did see it with 3 and with 2. And trust me, I can do it. It's just one of those things where sometimes we can't get it for the audience, can't get it for the camera, all right? Hey! But if we do enough practice, if we are resilient and patient enough, we can definitely get it done. So that is the last circus exercise that we are going to want you to try today, guys. And that kind of brings us on to the last part of the session. So we're going to go over here for that, all right?
For the last part of the session, we are going to give you an awesome video to watch. This week, the video is by a chap called Guillermo and Timo, and they studied at a circus school called Dock, which is in Sweden, and it's often thought as one of the highest sort of levels of circus skill schools in the world, definitely in Europe anyway. So Timu, I believe his name is, he does what is called Washington trapeze, which is where you are balancing on your head on a trapeze. That's all I'm going to say about it. It has to be seen to be believed, okay? Guillermo, or Guillermo, this is what happens when we get a dyslexic trying to introduce people. But he is a Diablo player. Like, he is just one of the best in the world. He does multiple Diablos, I think maybe up to like 5 in the video. And this is how the two sort of art forms can interplay and work together. Now, whenever we give you a video to watch, we want you to sort of come up with 3-4 words of why you enjoyed it, maybe why you didn't enjoy it. What about it did you enjoy? What about it didn't you enjoy? Was it like the music that you liked, but actually you didn't really enjoy the Washington trapeze? You thought it was too limiting, or whatever it is that you can come up with. So some brilliant things to be getting on with this week's session, some brilliant tricks, some brilliant fitness exercises, and this is one of my favourite ever circus videos, just because it's just so spectacular. So I hope you enjoy it, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see you in the sessions later on. See you later, guys, bye!